Hello everyone, welcome back to the Call of Duty World at War Custom Zombie Mapping Tutorial Series. As you can see, I added this beautiful gun to the wall here just to make the wall look pretty. That gun alone makes it look pretty. The STG-44 is a really nice gun, so I'm going to put that on that wall just to make the map look a little bit more interesting. But anyways, today we're going to be illuminating our map, so we're going to put lights and stuff like that in our map. Now lights, not only do they allow our players to see, but lights are a very effective tool. Like they say that lighting is the most effective tool that anybody in the media has in their toolbox. So movies, lighting is one of the most effective techniques in movies to inspire different emotions in people, and it's the same in video games. Like horror games wouldn't be the same if the lighting wasn't set up right. Now, believe me, I'm not an artiste. I don't know how to do great lighting in a map, and like I'm mostly doing it to make sure the players can see. That's the main part behind it. But like you can do really cool stuff with lighting. Like you can take a really dull map and light it well, and it would make the map so much more interesting. If you just have lights everywhere in a map, it doesn't look interesting. But if you have them placed in strategic spots and play around with it, you can do some really cool stuff. But let's just jump right into it. I'm just gonna add a light right here. I'm not gonna get too creative with it right now. First, I'm gonna set the grid to 8 though. So all you need to do to add a light is right click and click on light. It's really that simple. You can just drag around. It's like a little box here. I have no idea what this thing is. Don't ask. It bothers the hell out of me. I see it and it looks so stupid. And like you don't see it in game. It's just a weird, like I don't even know. It looks like something out of like a glitch in the Matrix. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it alone. That just really bothers me in the editor, but whatever. I'm going to put this near the ceiling height. Now, if you guys remember in an earlier tutorial, I said do not put lights coming from nowhere because it makes no visual sense to the player. It's just like, oh, there's just a random light here, but there's no light model. So we're going to add models as well. Now, this is going to be important for you. You're going to need to know how to add models because a map with just brushes is going to be boring. You need to add like models, like maybe a mannequin, kind of like from Transit, or like add in chairs, like something to make the map. Like you need to add a lot of models into your map to make it visually astounding. Like this, I mean, this is pretty fantastic, and that's because I made it. No, I'm just kidding, but I'm going to need to add some models in there as well. So how you do that is I'm going to show you. So all you have to do is right click, go to MISC model, not prefab this time. We're leaving our buddy prefab at home. We're just going to click model. Now, oh, I'm going to close that. I don't know why that popped up. Where you're going to go is you're going to go to the root folder. It's going to probably put you in the prefab, so just go up, press this little up one level until you get to the World at War directory. And then we're just going to go to raw, and then I believe it's called X model, if I can remember. Yeah, X model. There it is. There are like hundreds of models in this folder. Like it is ridiculous. You try to find a specific model in this folder, you're not going to have a fun time. Most of them, though, are models for specific parts of bodies so that they can change it. Like if the zombie gets shot in the head, it'll change it to that model, etc. But like just there are so many different models you can choose from. I'm going to choose a light object because I want my light to look like it's coming from somewhere realistic. Let's see if I can pick one here. Ceiling light. Oh, I think that one. I think that one's okay. Oh yeah, that one looks nice. That one's okay. I'm going to choose this one. It's kind of simple, but it's facing the wrong way right now, so we're going to go ahead and rotate it on the y-axis, and now I'm going to move it into position. So this is one of those lights, you do want to make sure it's actually touching the ceiling, because as you can see, like, yeah, you don't want to see the top of the light. That's meant to go into a ceiling. I'm going to change my grid down because I need to 4. There we go. If you need to change your grid, like sometimes you will need to, like I just did. Anyways, and now I'm going to make this light line up. So it's lined up on the side, but not on the z-axis. So we're just going to, oh, I have both of them selected, my mistake. We'll move that over so that it's right underneath. Now, this light's intensity isn't very good. Now, do not play with the intensity. I thought earlier that playing with the intensity would allow me, right here, the intensity, it'll whitewash the light. So it'll put too much light in certain areas and it'll whitewash the textures and it looks really bad. So don't play with the intensity. We don't need to. You can change the color if you want. Like, I don't know, you can make your map, your light purple if you really wanted to. I'm just going to leave mine so that it looks normal. Uh, One thing I am going to change though is the radius. So if you want your light a little bit brighter and to cover more area, modify the radius. And if we do that, look at that. It already brightens up a little bit of our map, except for underneath this stupid little thing. Like, look, it puts a hole in the floor. It looks so stupid. Anyways, they're not going to fix that because World at War is like 7 years old. But yeah, look, already we can see in the preview, like, look at the lighting. It looks pretty nice. The corners are fairly dark, and then, like, behind the barriers is pretty dark as well. And then over here we can't see much light. Like it's really cool. You can do some really cool stuff with lighting. That was really quick too. If you play around with it, you can put it wherever and make your map, like even if it's a boring map, you can make it look really cool. I'm just going to select both these models and hit copy so I don't have to do it again. And I'm just going to put it over here so we have a light in this room as well. I'm going to put it a bit farther back so we can cast some shadows. Right about there. I'll drag it forward a little bit, sure. I'll put it right there. Yeah. And I'm going to rotate the light on the Z-axis as well. There we go. So we have the two different lights in the room. Now look at this. This is one example of how you can make use lighting to your advantage. It's not going to be this choppy in the end in the actual game, but doesn't that shadow look cool where it's kind of light and then it's darker on one side? Like that gives it kind of a scary effect. Like in this case, not a very good scary effect, but you can use lighting very well. And you can find some tutorials on zombie modding and stuff like that on how to light, and you can just figure it out for yourself, and you can make things look really, really interesting. And as I said in an earlier video, you can patch up scenes with it as well, not put a light on it. And like I said, people are attracted to light naturally, even in video games. So yeah. So now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in the actual game because I can, and we learned how to compile it in the 10th video. So let's go ahead and compile it and see how our beautiful lighting looks. Hello guys, and we are back on Call of Duty World at War. If you need to launch your mod and you didn't do it from the launcher, or you can't do it from the launcher, or whatever, just go open up your Call of Duty World at War single player and go into your mods folder and just double click on your mod to launch it. So yeah, so I'm just going to go back and we're going to launch it from the console again. So slash dev map, not C, zombie YT. And once you do this, you'll see the Activision loading symbol again. Click the start, and let's see how our lighting looks. Look at that. That's actually not too bad. It is a little bit too bright. I mean, we don't have any shadows. This texture needs to be brought forward a little bit. It looks it's a little bit glitchy, but yeah, I'll fix that after this video. Now, you will notice one thing. Notice how the rounds are skipping and the zombies aren't spawning? That's my fault. I said your zombies would spawn, you know, after you added them in, but that's not entirely true because we haven't set up zoning yet. I forgot about zoning. So yeah, they're not going to spawn in quite yet. But if you can notice, like, there's a little bit of shadows in the corners, right? And there's the main light, and there's going to be a red aura around here when the Juggernaut's turned on, which we'll do in a second. And there's, like, shadows back here. And look in our power room. Even back here, see how it's, like, kind of light on this wall, but on this wall it's a little bit darker? That it gives kind of a cool effect. And like I said, you can play with it with your map and just experiment and go wild with it, you know what I mean? And I'm just going to see what I can get from this beautiful box. I love this gun. And I love this gun enough that I'm not going to trade it for a Gooer. But anyways, yeah, if you guys want to see what the Juggernaut and what I was talking about, I'm going to no-click to turn on the power. I'm going to kind of cheat here, because we haven't added the door yet. There we go. And, like, look at this. See how it has, like, a red aura around it? That kind of contributes to the lighting as well. And, yeah, so like I said, just play around with it and see how you like it. And, yeah, in the next video, we're going to be setting up barriers. So we're going to have, like, you know, a blocker here so that the player has to pay $7.50 to get into this room. And we're going to have a $12.50 door here. It's going to slide to get into the power. But, yeah, that's what we're going to do next video. But until then, like I said, just play around with the lighting in your map. And you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.